Hey everybody, how are you? I'm happy to see everybody here joining me today on Facebook Live. I am just doing a couple minutes here while I'm waiting for everybody to get on board and making sure that all my technical stuff is going right here before I start the broadcast and everything. So pardon me if I look away. I'm just making sure I've got everything set up over there, that I can see everybody. And if people have questions. Oh, hey, Gina. Thank you for joining me. Oh my God, it's so fun when you see people here wanting to actually listen to what it is you have to say. So if you've got questions, during the broadcast today, feel free to type them in and I'll try and answer them. So I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys today because there's a lot of people out there that are either watching me right now or you're going to watch it afterwards. You might be watching it on my website or whatever, but I'm Kristen Poborski and I help people who are small business owners and entrepreneurs get website traffic. Hey, Ann, how are you? Good to see you. And get more traffic to the get traffic to their website and 10x their website. So if you're a small business owner and you want to get more website traffic, you're in the right place to listen to me talk about this. I'm going to show you a couple tools today that are going to make your life a lot easier and help you get more website traffic. So let's dive in. I'm going to talk to you today about optimizing your images on your website for your blog post, because this is like one of the most popular topics I get on my website. It's all across social media. Everything's visual these days. And I want to show you just a really quick workflow, how to create great images and actually how to optimize your images too, so that you don't slow down your website. And so if you're non-techie, don't worry, I'm going to make this super easy. But let's just dive into why you need to have images all across social media. And if you're a business owner, you definitely need to do this. So most of you are bloggers and you're out there trying to get traffic to your website so that you can sell more products and services. So you've got to have images. And I know it just is like, oh my gosh, if you're just starting out, really one more thing I've got to do. But I'm going to show you some easy ways to make those images and some free things that are really great that'll save you time and money. So let's just dive into that. So I'm going to tell you the first thing you're going to want to do is get the right tools. So there's 3 great image tools that you want to have in your arsenal. One is Canva. Another one is PicMonkey. And the third one's Photoshop. Now, if you're just a beginner, I suggest that you start with Canva. It's free, it's easy, take the tutorials, and you'll be creating images and adding copy to them in no time at all. And they look really great. And if you spend a little time going through the tutorials, your stuff will look even better. And just keep at it because it takes time until you get better. You'd laugh if you saw some of my original images on my website. And I might probably still have some of them there, but I've been really diligently getting rid of them and updating them with much more professional on-brand images. So I suggest doing that. PicMonkey's good too. It's easy, but it's not as easy as Canva. So I think that's the best one. Photoshop, if you're a pro, go ahead and use it. It costs money. I've tried learning it and I'm a pretty techie person and I just throw up my hands and say, no, thank you. It's just too hard. Okay, so once you pick how you're going to create your images, you've got to get some stock photo images. Now, not just any stock photo images are going to be great. You really need to find good ones. So I'm going to give you 2 really good places to pick your images from. So, and some tips too. So I like to use big stock photos. It's paid. And the other one that's free that has amazing images, and you'll see them all over my website, all over social media, on my Instagram, I pretty much use Unsplash. And there's a lot of people over on Instagram with huge accounts, and they're using Unsplash, and there are free images there, awesome images, great place, and there's always new images to pick from, and it's free. So I would definitely start there. And then if you think that you find that you need some other images beyond that, then I would go to Big Stock. You can get a monthly plan there, $79, and you can download up to 7 images a day. So that's 210 images if you did it every day for a whole month. That's plenty. That'll keep you in business for at least a year. Then if, let's see, let's talk about some things that you want to keep in mind when you are picking your images for your social media, for your website, those sort of things. Number one, your image, it needs to match the tone of your message, okay? So, but don't be afraid to kind of go some off the wall, because you really want to use high contrast images that catch people's attention. So let's just pick one that you think conveys it and it's kind of fun. Yeah, stick to fun. So, and positive. And then the second thing is legal. So I have gone down the road with clients before who have just gone and grabbed images right off of the internet and gotten in huge trouble, had to deal with harassing lawyers wanting to charge thousands of dollars. So don't go to Google Images and just pick up an image and think it's going to be okay, because it's not, okay? And bigger is better. So when you're picking an image, you definitely want to get one with bigger pixels. So I'm saying like 900 by 900 pixels. That's a really good size to have that you'll be able to use all across social media. Okay, so let's go back to those images. One last thing is you really want to give yourself a limit. When you're picking out images, it's really easy to just spend hours and hours out there picking images and going down the proverbial rabbit hole. So what I do is, if I'm picking out an image for social media, for a blog post or whatever, I limit myself to 15 minutes, okay? I may get more than 1 or 2 images in that 15 minutes. And I like to do it kind of all at once. So if I'm working on a project, I will go into Unsplash and Big Stock and probably 15, 20 minutes, go in there, just start gathering all kinds of the photos, sticking them into like a saved area before I buy them or download them, and then just going through them and seeing what I like and just buying what I need or downloading what I need. So that's what I do. Okay, so now let's hop into what do you do next once you found your images. So most of the images that I get, I use for 3 things. I use them for social media posts, I use them on my blog, and then I use them on my blog post pages. But what we're going to talk about here really is when you're creating a blog post. So when you're creating a blog post, hey Christy, hi, how are you? Glad you could join us. I make 3 images size, and I think I'm going to just pop you guys right around and just show you my Canva, because that's where I create everything. So bear with me as I flip you guys around so you can kind of look and see what I do with my images, because I think a picture's worth 1,000 words. I could tell you a million things and it just wouldn't make sense. So let's just go over there. Now, can you see those? Great. See? These are some of the, oh, thank you, Christy. I love it. I've got my friends on here cheering me on. It's awesome. So you can see here, this is my Canva account, and I've got all these templates here. So when I go and build a quote template or a blog post template, I use a preset template. So when I go in there, I just pop my image in there and my text. And I usually make it 3 sizes. So I'll end up making 3 sizes, one for a square size, and that's like for Facebook and Instagram. and then I'll do a landscape size image, and that's for Twitter, and then a taller one, which is portrait, and that's for Pinterest, because I get a lot of traffic from Pinterest. I probably get Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook, and Twitter. I mean, I pretty much get equal amounts. So I post my stuff everywhere, and that requires that you've got to make multiple images for a blog post. So let's dive into that part. Now that you know where I go, I've got templates set up, and I make 3 sizes for every blog post that I do, and also for my quotes too, because you got to look good. So when I'm putting them on my blog, I definitely do all 3 sizes, but I don't post all 3 sizes in my blog because that would look funny. You got to hide them. So what I do is, and I'll show you the code and everything for it. Let me just flip right back around. I go in and I upload my image, and then I copy the link to it, and then I embed it into a little code. And I'm going to give you all of this code in the video once it's all done. I'm going to add all of this information in there so you know exactly where to go. I'm actually going to give you the link to the blog post because it details everything. And I've created a little handout that you can go and get the handout and have it by your side for any time that you need to create any images. Okay, so let me just flip right around to see this little piece of code. See that code right there? Yeah. I know it looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, especially if you're a beginner. Don't worry, it's super easy. You just copy and paste that code in where I say image URL. You just copy and paste the URL to your image, and it hides it right in your blog post, which is really cool. And so then when you go to share it, or somebody goes to share your blog post out on social media, your images are right there and they can choose from it. Cool, right? Okay, so you got all these images on there. You got like, I don't know how many images we got now. 3 images for one blog post, and you multiply that by blog posting maybe once or twice a week. I blog post twice a week. Okay, that's a lot. That's like 100. 100 times 3. I mean, that is a lot of images. By the end of the year, that's actually 150 images. That can slow down your website. So the next thing we're going to talk about here is, you got all these images and you want to optimize your images for your website. Well, what does that mean? Well, you want your images to not slow down your website, especially when you've got multiple ones embedded in a post. And this is important because SEO, when Google looks at your website and starts indexing your site and, all this, that they look at one of the things is the user experience. And if your site is loading slow because you got all these images on there, they're going to ding you. So we're going to talk about that next. So if you've got a WordPress site, we're going to make it super easy for you. There is a plugin, and I've got the URL right inside of this blog post, and it's called WordPress Smush It. Yep, all you got to do is just upload it, install it, and then it does all the rest of the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to do any messy coding or anything like that. You just go in there and set it up. It does everything else. Now, there's one other thing you gotta do to optimize your images for SEO, and this is super simple. So you need to put your keywords in your image. Yep, you got to do that, especially for Pinterest, because Pinterest is an SEO-driven social media. Yep, gals and gentlemen, it's no longer just a place where people share recipes. It is a serious business tool, and I get a lot of traffic there because I treat it as such. I use all my keywords inside of my blog, inside all of my content I share there. And when I'm uploading an image, I just don't upload any image. I put the keywords from my blog post into my image. So you do that right inside there. And again, it's super, super easy. And I've created a whole entire workflow that's going to help you walk through this process. You can just go look at the blog post that I wrote on this, and there's a little at the very end. You can get the image optimization creation and a checklist, and it'll tell you exactly what to do and how to go about doing it. So that's it. Simple, easy. I don't know if there's any questions out there about, does anybody have any questions about like traffic, website traffic, or anything like that? Oh, okay, great. Well, let me tell you, if you're just getting started on a blog and you don't know what to do, the one thing I'm going to tell you to do is to, instead of just installing all those plugins, it's going to auto post your stuff all across social media, you want to hand post it. And that's when you go into your, I'll just show you. Let me just flip around and show you on this blog post. Let me just hold this over here. So you see those sharing buttons over here? So what I do when I go to hand post, I go down here, right here, and I love this Google one. That's the first one I do. I click on that, and I go and I copy my information about my post, and you see how it pops up right there? And I post it out of Google. And that is the first thing I do. Put a little copy in there and I post it. And the reason why I do Google, it's the only thing I ever really do on Google, is to get the search engines going over and indexing my new post. And I do that. So that's the first thing I do. And then after that, I go and post again on Facebook. But on Facebook, what I do over there is I do the whole post because I get more traffic because I have a call to action on the end. So that's what I do. And then for those of you who are in business and you want to get out in front of more people, you want to post your stuff out on LinkedIn. So that's like my biggest tip that I can give to all of you guys who want to get more website traffic. So I hope you found this really helpful. Next week, I'm coming back again, and I'm going to show all of you people who want to do Facebook Live how to embed your Facebook Live on your website and then just keep promoting it again out on social media so you get more traffic. So I hope you enjoyed this. I love talking to all of you. Thanks to all my friends that join me here. I appreciate your support, and I'll be back next week with another blog post and 10x your website traffic tip. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.